We've always enjoyed game nights, even before we were recording, before we had kids love, even before we were married. Remember we played games. We're not about that Phase 10 game that we played like our second year of marriage. I can't believe it. I was like, why are you so competitive?
So it's important when you do have game night, don't let people win. You have to play to win. That's the goal of every game, unless you're playing a game
Let
about.
me tell y'all.
This is the Nuclear Option Podcast with Chris and Aziza Butler, the podcast for those who dare to believe in the power of the nuclear family.
In a time when it's harder than ever to raise a family, we want to encourage you to be proud of your family. Invest in your family because our families are the most promising solutions for the problems in our world.
Greetings. Welcome to the Nuclear Option Podcast. I'm your host, Aziza Butler, and we're going to discuss the politics, the practice, and the promise of family.
From our home to yours, we are inviting you to a conversation about the family, not just as a private institution, but as a public good.
Yay! Welcome, you guys. Hi, my love.
Hello, my dear.
This is so weird. We're like together, but we're not together. You are out of town right now.
I am out of town, or at least I'm out of our hometown. I'm in town where I am.
Right. Well, yes, I'm glad we still got to come together. You look handsome as usual, so I'll just stay focused on your face. We're gonna just jump into this, and you want to kick us off, love, with the politics? What's our topic
Yeah.
today?
Let's start with talking about the politics of family. The politics topic that we're going to talk about today is the Trump accounts that President Donald Trump rolled out in his marquee piece of legislation, the Big Beautiful Bill. I'm not fond of the name, but, such as it is, part of that Big Beautiful Bill was establishing these Trump accounts. So what is a Trump account? It's basically a savings account that is going to be a tax-free savings. And for kids who are born, any kid who's born from like January 1, 2025, so some of those children are already born, all the way through December 31st of 2028, the U.S. Treasury is going to invest $1,000 into a savings account that will continue to accrue interest until they become 18 years old. At 18, they can withdraw those funds to pay for school, to buy a home, or to start a business. And so those accounts are going to be set up. They're going to be funded. Anybody under the age of 18 can start a Trump account. And if you seed an account for any child, it'll still be tax-free. It'll still accrue. The interest over time can still be withdrawn for those same purposes. The other thing that is notable about the Trump accounts is that once they are established, parents and family can add to those accounts. Employers and corporations, nonprofits can add to those accounts and just increase the value of the accounts. And to that point, the Dales, they're a wealthy family of Dell Computing. They are actually investing like $6.25 billion into these Trump accounts, and they're going to add $250. So the government is going to put in $1,000. The Dales are going to add $250. So that's $1,250 to each one of these accounts. So that piece of things going to be established. And I think it is one of those points where I think this is on the whole good public policy. I'm a huge fan of these kind of like universal efforts when the government is going to do a thing where universal, because when it's not universal, it automatically becomes the kind of thing where different people start to fight against it, because the folks who are going to benefit from it are going to fight for it. The folks who are not going to benefit from it fight against it. When it's universal, it's a little bit easier to kind of get it accepted. And while it's not, some people look at it and say, well, that same bill, like it cut SNAP benefits and it's cutting Medicaid. And those are certainly things that need to be discussed and dealt with. But this to me does seed the kind of like universal, flexible program that will benefit this group of kids. It can benefit more children because, again, if you have $1,000, you can start one of these accounts for anybody under the age of 18. And it's the kind of thing that once it's set in place, it can be built upon. For new Congresses and later presidents can come in and improve on this sort of first step. So I'm a fan. Maybe it shouldn't be Trump accounts, but whatever. He's the president. He signed it into law. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. One thing I like about it is that like it puts into place what everybody knows is already good. Like we know that it's good to have a savings account for our children, but it can be hard to start that thing, especially when they're younger. Like families are usually a little bit more stretched while the kids are younger. They're building their careers. They are just trying to make ends meet. And they just kind of feel like, I have time, because this baby is only 2 months old. And then you look up and the baby's like 5 and the baby's like 11. So it's like, gosh, I should have done this sooner. So I like that it kind of gives that, like it kind of walks out that thing that we all know is very helpful. Like a savings account is good for people to have, not only when they are kids, but even as time goes on. So I think that's really good. I remember going to college and hearing these other families who grew up just with a lot more cushion in their lives. And I was like, they would say like, oh yeah, my like, my account, my what is it called? I forgot what it was called, like my trust or something.
Education
Trust.
savings
I'm like,
account. Yeah, I mean,
right. Or yeah, all of them. But I mean just all of it. They just had like access to funds like when they became 18 or 21. And I was like, wow, things can just look different for different people and different families because of how ends have to meet. And so I just like that. I like
yeah,
that was like that's an investment into families. And it's no like shame or guilt of like, oh, like we're, giving you something or like you weren't good enough as a parent. It's like everybody, this is
yeah,
for everybody. And I think it just encourages people to just feel that safety net. Like I'm just thinking if I were a new parent and having a little bit of trepidation about like how can I provide for this child long term? Because that's what a lot of parents think about, like, I have this baby now, but what if I something, what about their future? How can I, starting that. So to know that there's just a little bit of just safety, not safety net, but just a little bit of a cushion to as their children grow, to know that they'll have things that are going, and you can always add to it too. So that could be
yeah,
good as well. But I like that it just incentivizes and encourages families to not allow the current economic state and the inflation of things to feel like that they can't have a child. Secondly, I do want to know, I want to know your thought about this, love. How does this impact inflation? Like I know when they did like like checks to families or something during like COVID, I remember hearing like, oh, this is going to cause inflation. Does that does that impact this at all? Like that, just like putting these accounts together.
I would generally push back on the notion of making those types of investments in families and in working people necessarily causes inflation. But this, I think, would be even less inflationary because it's not something that people are going to go out and spend right now, which is what could cause inflation. This is savings, and is not going to be spent for 18 years. Um, so it shouldn't be inflationary. I think um, it gives people an investment in the future, which there are a lot of things that have to go around this. Like, I'm not saying like this is any kind of silver bullet. So I should be super clear about that. I don't think it's a silver bullet. And it doesn't replace the need to make all types of other investments in people, healthcare, education, housing, all these types of things. But I think this is a good thing, a good step in the right direction. And the other thing I wanted to say, I mentioned it a little bit, is the flexibility of it, right? So different from like an education savings account or health savings account where you can use it only for health or only for education. This, if you're going to pursue some kind of post-secondary education, you can use it for school, but you can use it about house. You can use it to start a business. And so it leaves that kind of option open where it's not trying to prescribe like a path for everybody because everybody's not going to travel the same path. And I think that's another thing that's just like noteworthy and positive. So it's not a silver bullet, but it's a good step.
Awesome sauce. Well, there you have it, guys. So if you haven't heard about this now, that this is it. So maybe we'll see some new babies being born in
Yeah.
2026 and 27 and 28. All right, awesome sauce. All right, so that was the politics. We talk about the politics, then the practice of family. So something we can jump into just right now with your family as you are just doing life and raising kids and all that. Something that is going to just strengthen your family. So For this section, I just want to throw out to you guys and suggest a thing that you can do. We hosted a homeschool book fair at Thrive Day, and we had some games there. We noticed that a lot of the families really engaged with that. I love games, and my kids love games. And so, board games are what I want to just throw out to you guys. These board games, we actually looked up, there's a lot of benefits to playing board games. I know you guys may have heard about family game night and just all that. It's just such a cool time to just bond with your family and just a thing where everybody can kind of get in and involved with kind of no matter what their age is, like maybe they're teens or preteens or even young adults really. And smaller ones based, there's so many different types of games. It's such a
Mhm.
great it's so flexible and versatile for your family. So whether you only have one child or if you have six children like us. Some of the great things that they say that game night, to have like a family game night, is that it encourages face to face interaction. And that's important because a lot of times, it's technology and all of that, we can lose those genuine, like healthy connections of just talking and, our time isn't just like dominated by screens. By the way, this is from an article called The Benefits of Family Game Nights for Social Development. That's by
Mhm.
Care Counseling. The second benefit is that it promotes communication skills, which is so important. I will tell you that as a teacher, communication is just so important. They're learning language development. They're learning like how to literally talk about their ideas and hear other people. And there's just so many hidden communication skills and very clear communication skills that happen. But when you're playing a game, you got to kind of like share with each other, strategize together, maybe make a plan, and all this stuff. And this is just like natural communication. So it's really good, and our kids need to learn how to like express themselves but also how to talk to someone else and hear their ideas, but then kind of push back on it. And I think it's just so many good ideas, whether your kids are like extroverted and assertive or whether they are more like quieter and assertive or I feel like we have some extroverted assertive and quiet assertive kids too. But anyway, whatever their personality style is, it can it just like it brings that all out. So whether they're
Mm.
more like laid back, it's just great. And then it enhances teamwork and cooperation, which, hello, we all definitely need that. Um, with siblings and even just, parents and children together. I know for our kids, like it's just something about when you're playing a game together, maybe you're on my team, it's like, okay, we're going to do this or do that. It's just really cool. We all
Yeah.
just enjoy that. And then this is a big one for me is that it teaches problem solving. I am so like, even my kids are small, I'm like, guys, I would tell them, you are a problem solver. Like, you can do this, and I think that's important for kids to be able to enhance, like to grow that muscle. Because I think that's the skill of problem solving is not just a thing that you need when you're adult. Like, you got to build that muscle even
Yeah.
as a child. Sometimes, though, honestly, like I feel like our kids are a little too good at problem solving. I'm like, no, 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 I didn't want you to figure that. Like, bring that to me. You figured it out and flooded the
Yeah.
bathroom sink.
Yes. They have experimentation, uh, that will enhance the excitement of your life.
Right, right. But yeah, but on the whole, problem solving is a great skill, and I've always just
Take
encouraged
the
them. I
good
think a lot of
with bad.
confidence comes when you are thinking like a problem solver. So, and then of course it encourages healthy competition, which I think could be helpful to just bring growing in your own confidence, but also like seeing like being a healthy, well, not healthy loser. What is it called? Like a loser with a good attitude, basically.
Yeah.
Like being encouraging to if you weren't
As
the one that won.
don't be a loser.
And then, of course, it just strengthens our bond. And according to this article, this can be a great addition. Like for my birthday this year, I told the kids I wanted to. Well, actually, I told you, love, and so you facilitated. I was like, I just want us to have like a family game night, and it was so much fun. We had such a great time. And love you like ordered these games off Amazon. I was like, let's play a new game, and we all just really enjoyed it. It was just so much fun. But I was like, and so according to this, they're like, you can create a tradition with that. I'm like, I think that would be really great, like a family game night. And then some of the other things that it says is that it provides inclusivity, meaning everybody can get in on it. It teaches empathy and sportsmanship. Oh, that was the word I was thinking of earlier. Good sportsmanship. And then it has educational benefits, and also it's a digital detox. And it just feels like harmony and unity and trust in the family. So I love it. Um, but yeah, what do you think, love?
No, I think it's great. So I'm going outside of the article because they didn't reference me when they were writing the article. But we one thing I really like about it when I don't remember when we did this, but it was recent because Mariah came over because we actually have 7 kids. Um, one that game night really does. So if you have like a 26-year-old and a 2-year-old, um,
Yes, she's like our goddaughter, our adopted one.
the whole crew and everybody can get involved and have fun. I think in a lot of families, especially in a lot of couples, there's at least one who more falls into the category of like taking themselves and life too seriously. I won't say which one of us is in that category.
They
Um,
probably wouldn't even figure it out, love, so
listeners to this
definitely let's hide that.
find it
They
very
won't
difficult.
even know
Uh,
which one who is the game person, who's the serious person.
but one of us is more into games uh, than others, or just like more loose, like free spirited. Probably me. But the other one who is not so much, game night is just like an
Which
opportunity
clearly me.
to that like it's okay to like chill out for a minute, to like laugh, to have fun, to do uh something silly and just that's actually like a great
It's
reset for
cathartic.
uh
Mhm.
catharsis. So there are even more benefits to game night. Um Highly recommend.
Whoop, whoop. Yay. So if we can get Chris on board, anybody can do this. No, we've always enjoyed game nights, even when we were recording, before we had kids, love, even before we were married. Remember we played games? We're not about that phase 10 game that we played, like our second year of marriage. I can't believe it. I was like, why are you so competitive?
So it's important when you do have game night, don't let people win. You have to play to win. That's the goal of every game. Unless you're playing a game
Let
about
me tell y'all, we had just been married for like maybe 2 years. I was like, I realized he was so far ahead of me in this game in phase 10. And love, I realized that you were keeping the card that I needed. Like, but it was like you were in like phase 6. I was still in like phase 3. And you had already gone out, so you were only in like phase 7. I was like, are you holding the card I need? You're like, of course I'm holding it. From that moment on, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I got it. It's like, all right, I know how to play this now. I'm about to bring it.
a healthy competition. That's the goal of game night.
And then it was funny because as you're like, when I'm like, all right, okay, you want to play? We're gonna play. We're gonna play for real. You're like, yeah, exactly. Let's play for real. It's like I
Healthy
would
co-
have given you the card, love. You're like, that's not
and
fun. It's taking it
taken it.
easy on me.
I would gladly have
You said
taken
the
it.
what?
I said I would gladly have taken it because I was trying to win.
Exactly. The things you learn about each other in marriage. Yeah. So now,
So
yes, we have great healthy competition, but I will take you down in phase 10 if you ever. But not in life. We don't compete in life. That's why you can
that's
compete
the
in games. So
But
you said what?
that you do have to go to the next segment, but that is something that I think is worth saying about family game night, is that it does create an environment for competition that is
Mhm.
healthy, out of, like, getting that energy out in other environments that might not be so conducive to good, strong relationships. You said, that we learn things about each other in marriage. I was gonna use that to segue to the promise section because we have been
Take
married
us there,
8. And I thought that it was because of our, like, compatibility and, all the hard work that we put in, and apparently it's because of our siblings. Um, so
so true. I'm a middle child of 5. You're a middle child of 5.
yes, and apparently so this article, and this research, it's actually a couple of pieces of research independent of each other, but they both confirm something that I never thought about, never knew, but makes all the sense in the world, which is that there is a strong positive correlation between growing up with several siblings and staying married, right? So the number of siblings that you have is negatively correlated to divorce rates. Um,
Yep.
and some of this is just like pointing out basically like you learn to grow up in like close relationships and like problem solving and dealing with conflict, interpersonal conflict and stuff. Um, are those things are strengthened with siblings, and so it helps you to navigate marriage to have multiple siblings. I did not know that, never saw any research on that, but once I read it, I'm like, "Well, that makes all the sense in the world," because before you get married, who are, like, the people who are, like, at a peer level with
Yep.
you, but are, like, all up in your life close enough to, like, find your last nerve and get right on top of it, but you still love them and feel like super motivated to figure out how to work it out. Those are your siblings. And I'm like, let's just make
Yep, and it's like you have to stay in there with them, like, you don't get to leave, it's not like, "Well, I'm
yeah.
going to my house, I'm going to my house." You have to, like, figure it out,
Yeah.
and that's a great, like, practice for marriage, and so that actually I agree, when I saw that, I was like, "That definitely makes, like, so much sense." I know as a middle child, I feel like I had to learn some social skills um that I would not have otherwise had if I didn't have my brother who was 7 years older than me, and my sister was 2 years older than me, and then my little brothers who were 2 years and 4 years younger than me. There was just some really great like skills that happened there. Some of them were not so great, like social skills, but even in that, like I'm able to like see why that doesn't work. Like, oh, I guess I can't just like bully them into doing what I want them to do. Like I
Yeah.
really have to listen to them and, all of that. So it was really helpful. And so I look at our children who are, they're growing up in this whole sibling bond. I always call it like their butler bond. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
you have to, kind of pour into your butler bond, strengthen your butler bond. But I can see so many things, so many fruitful things happening with them. Just like they're even like learning to talk. I was looking at Cole today. He just turned 2 a couple days ago. Hey,
Happy
Cole is
birthday,
2.
Cole,
Happy birthday day to me too. I'm just
and happy birthday.
kidding. So he turned 2, and even him, like he was taking something from the 4-year-old who maybe somehow they had something and Cole, either he took it on and he wasn't supposed to, but I had to just talk to him through it. I'm like, hey, like you get a turn, then he gets a turn. Do you like when people take things from you? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay, so what are you gonna do? He's like, scene turn. And I was like, good job. Yeah, take a turn and then you get it back. And I think that's just such like that is the thing that's gonna last forever. Just taking turns, being cooperative, helping clean up. It's just so many good things that I think happen and as I see our kids, I'm like, wow, you guys are gonna be great adults one day. But I also don't think that is like I want to say I'm thinking about that family out there who maybe only has one child and they are not able to have another child for whatever reason. These benefits can still be accessed through just like close bond relationships, like cousins
Hmm.
or like family friends or things. And I think because the element there is that you don't get to run away, like you don't get to just like, well, you didn't do that. Okay, we're not coming back here. Like, like help them work it out, help them to see that like we're still in this together. And you're going to still see each other regularly, even if you don't like how they're not sharing or how they, if they don't like the same game as you or they don't want to play the same game as you. But, just spending that time with each other, I think is really helpful. So yeah, I really love this research. Any other highlights from this article?
I actually lost my thought because I, I was looking at how beautiful you look on the screen. And so
Oh, you're so loving, my love. I
you're doing
concur.
some
You
kind
look
of
so
smile thing.
cute.
It's a good thing to have siblings. With the sibling relationship, similar to the marriage relationship, it's the kind of thing that you're a little bit locked into. So you got to figure it out. And
Gotta
so
figure it out.
the the more you do that in all of our relationships, I think that's something that we could learn across relationships, like with children or even in our friendships and church relationships, like
Yeah.
not be so quick to quit. Um,
Mm, preach this thing.
and
Come
then
on.
like you gain the skill of working it out. And what a rich blessing it is because there are very few human relationships more life-giving than like sibling relationships and marriage relationships. And I think that a huge part of it is just that they have extra incentives to not quit those two particular relationships, but you can learn something from that with relationships across the board. Not saying that you can never leave a relationship. Obviously, sometimes that's just the nature of things. But if we just commit a little bit more, like staying in it, I think there's some fruitfulness there.
So true. I love, love, love that. Oh, this has been fun. Oh, well, thank you guys for joining us today, and thank you, my love, for taking time out of your busy schedule too.
Thank you for
And
taking and we
right,
didn't say this here at the end. We definitely
yes,
need you, especially if you listen this far. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Please share this. If you listen to it on a podcast channel, share it with somebody who you think could be encouraged by it. It really helps us if you if you give us a positive review, and if you subscribe on YouTube. So do those things.
Yes, if this conversation blessed you or any other family that you know, pass it on. Give good things to other families. We're just out here trying to reach families, encourage them. Don't give up, you guys. What you're doing is beautiful. Your everyday thing is worth it
Yes.
because it's strengthening our whole society, has ripple benefits into our society. It's the last it's like the best hope for our society is strong family. So hope this conversation was encouraging and edifying to you guys. That is always our prayer. And so yeah, thanks for joining us. But all right, guys, keep loving each other
Hold on to truth and
and
harness
harness your power. Take care. Toodles.